Hello everyone, my name is Trittany and I'm the reader here at the Crown and Castle Collective, where we're all kings and queens of our own kingdom that we call life. This is going to be a pick-a-pile reading, as you can see, about what secret talents and abilities that you have. These are secret, so this might be something that is actually known to you, but you do keep from, like, other people, secret, as well as something that is, below your surface. So this might be something that you have the potential to be really, really good at, that, might be straight off the bat, right away, or it could be something that this is going to need your persistence and your hard work over time, that you have the potential to become really, really gifted at. So just keep that in mind. So the 4 piles, the timestamps will be provided below as usual. First off, I do want to say, check out the description box. All of your information is down in there regarding how to get personalized readings from me, free general readings that I try to post on Instagram now that I'm keeping up with the channel a little bit more. Those are easy to find. Also, I do want to give a shout out to this beautiful artwork that is presented here from Amelia Davis. I will provide her Etsy shop link down below. Beautiful human and wonderful friend of mine. I wish her well. So, the 4 piles that we have to choose from. Pile number 1, you have just a plain old powerful selenite stick. Pile number 2, you have a peacock ore. This lighting does not serve these stones justice, if you know what peacock ore looks like. Beautiful blues and purples and silvers. Oh, to die for. Alright, pile number 3, you have an aragonite. I'm gonna have to look up the spelling before I post this. I always forget, if you don't stay up to date with your crystals. Aragonite? Oregano? I don't know. Yeah. It's just pretty spiky boy, Got lots of depth to her. Pile number 4, you have the blue pearl moonstone, also another really reflective stone. Great weight to hold in the hand, it's amazing. I'm not gonna go with where I was gonna go. Never mind. Alright, and each of these piles do have a single rune. I actually bought this rune set. Here, I'll show you one that's not on the pile. Okay. Yeah, so I actually bought this rune set off of Etsy as well. They're really cute. They're actually like little tiny leaves. I don't know if you can see that, the way that they're like cut. I don't know. I love them. They're really cute, and they feel kind of like, I don't know, like obviously they were made from clay, so like it works with me. Alright, without further ado, we are going to start with pile number 1, the selenite stick. Y'all need to park in your spots. Okay, let me grab my tea. Okay, pile number 1, the selenite. What is your secret talent and abilities that you have? Let's take a look. I don't know how do I want to lay these out? Okay, I get it. Alright, pile number 1, let's kick it. Okay, so first I'm going to start off with the oracle cards that we're kind of looking at, and we have one Rider-Waite Tarot here for kind of the general. Probably should have waited on that one, but whatever, we're going with the flow. So the first card that we have is Blue Dragon from the Pleiades. Now I gotta work with this lighting to make sure there's not really any glare. I don't know how close I can really get. Okay. So it says prepares you to accept source healing, accept a heart activation, give and receive heart healing. So this blue automatically giving me water vibes, very emotional throat chakra as well. We also have that here with aquamarine, divine life purpose, trust the signs in your inner guidance, which are leading you to fulfillment. So with these two cards, I feel like you guys could be, there's a lot of blue, a lot of water energy. You could be a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or you could have a lot of water areas in your birth chart activated if you look into that, or you could right now. Anyways, I'm getting a lot of you might be really good at singing, at speaking, public speaking, talking, counseling. Those kinds of things are really, really fine-tuned for you. And I feel like if you are a singer, you might prefer to sing in the higher range, sopranos, or I think it's like baritone if you are, one of the deeper voices, but you could be like on the higher scale range. But Hunty, you got the ability to like go up and down. You have number 38, you have see the signs, also adds up to an 11. For some reason with this, I was getting like all of the signs, as in like horoscope signs. So there's definitely something that's activating right now within your birth chart. Really look into areas that, show what talents and abilities you really have. I feel like if you get that specific within your own birth chart, you're really going to notice and pick up on a lot of things that are accentuated within your chart. Also, with this, see the signs number 11. Again, I'm getting the duality, the highs and the lows. You're someone who is able to reach those high notes or those low notes. But if you're even just like a musical artist, is kind of what I'm picking up with this too. You're really able to pick up on the scales of things. You're very honest because too, when we look at the throat chakra, honesty comes from, your voice, your source of sound, and, also with your heart, which is water sign combination of throat and heart chakra. But a lot of you guys could be really good at, seeing through the lies or like people's facades. I feel like if you're someone who's really good at counseling others, really good friend to go through the highs and lows with, you're always honest and you're always truthful about how people should move through the situations, because you might have been through certain stuff on your own, so you're really good with this plantain card. It says rewild. But this card talks about, being places that you've been before or being to new places, trying not to go through the same thing twice. And if you do happen to go through the same thing twice, you are twice as experienced, okay? So you're a really, really wise person, but I feel like you're really comfortable with putting yourself into situations where you haven't found yourself before. So you're very adaptable. Again, with this water sign energy, you're really able at moving through difficult situations. You could be really good in high stress situations, nonetheless. You're really good at counseling. Again, you could be someone who's really good with money and finances as well. We also had the Four of Pentacles here. So this is someone who is very stable, very balanced, who, again, I feel like there's just like a counselor vibe coming from this. So you guys could be really good at, if you're someone that feels like you're not comfortable talking to people, again, this is something that you have a hidden talent for. So this could be something that you need to dig on, to work with, as far as being comfortable with yourself, to put yourself out on these situations where maybe you've never been before. You need to really step out into that spotlight. And then I feel like after you do that, you're going to be sitting there for the rest of your life like, wow, this is something I want to hold on to. This is something I want to do for the rest of my life. And it's just going to feel right for you. It's not something that you're really confident going into, but after you do it for the first time, you are set. And even if it's something that you might not make a lot of money on, I feel like it's going to be enough for you. And it's not just going to be enough for you materially, it's going to be, right for you overall. Like really balancing for you. All right, let's go a little bit deeper into more of the tarot cards, maybe get some more clues as to exactly what this talent is of the high and lows. Okay, yeah. You guys are a bunch of theater kids, maybe? I don't know. So the first card that we have is the Fool card. Again, I feel like there is a little bit of fearfulness with you guys. It might be something that you've always felt inclined to do or that you want to do. You just haven't really taken that leap yet. With the Fool card as well with this, I'm getting she is just serving runway looks. She's just walking, you know, like strutting almost very dramatically, but very dainty as well. There is some kind of like modeling aspect as well as, you know, like runway modeling or, you know, even just creating a fashion line also I'm getting. Let's see. Yeah, there's definitely a big fashion aspect with this. And I feel like your spirit guides too, if you're someone that's been looking into that area, they've been trying to like if you've been like talking about it or like hearing things about it, you know, the more that you talk about it, I feel like the more you manifest this kind of situation. I feel like some of you want to do your own like clothing line, and it might cost you a little bit to like get this kind of stuff started up, but it's something that you're going to find so self-fulfilling. It's going to be completely worth it. And you know, you with the see the signs card, I feel like you want to serve looks for everyone. You want to have, you know, the light whiter tees, and you want to also have like darker clothing. You want to have a good tasteful spectrum, and also, you know, serving to all kinds of people of different colors and ethnicities and backgrounds. You're not biased, okay? You want to give like a whole variety of, you know, product, which is amazing, you know, for what kind of mood you're in. You know, there's so many different styles for different moods, so that's pretty cool. And I feel like a lot of you guys, you could have this big game plan with this plantain card. It has like a treasure map in the background. You guys have, you know, a lot of visions for yourself. You know, it's not going to be a short ride, but you might be looking at the baby steps, okay? Dora the Explorer, you know how she works, one step at a time, but you have the whole grand scheme. Alright, so after that Fool card, we do have the Seven of Wands. So this is someone who stands up to be different, someone who is very recognized, actually, someone who's not afraid to be different. Also, you know, with this Fool card in that Seven of Wands is what I was kind of getting as far as like having a different kind of brand for yourself, a different look for yourself, but also, you know, having the confidence to really put yourself in a foolish situation and maybe get up on stage. A lot of you guys could be really good with singing and comedy and stand up and like improv and stuff like that. Definitely getting the improvisational, you know, right off the bat with the Fool card and the Seven of Wands. Hunty, we even have the Page of Swords as well. So the Page of Swords is someone who's like, you know, you're not too confident in yourself yet, but you have the quick wit, and like, you know, you have like those one punch lines that are just solid gold. Also, these are just very very intuitive and very, well, what's the word? Progressive ideas and like designs that are very new and modern, but yet you're like also taking respect into things that have been in the past with the Seven of Wands. So you actually honor past, you know, fashions, past people like who might be better than you in the work field or in the area of this talent. You might really respect the people who came before you, and you really use them as a sense of inspiration. So, with the Seven of Swords and the Fool card, like I was talking about, and we also have the Eight of Wands. Sorry, I meant to say these are all wands, so these are all fire. This Eight of Wands, especially, you guys, if you haven't done any kind of acting or improv, you definitely need to give that a go. You'll definitely get an amazing turnout. People will be busting up. You're quick on your feet, you know, regardless of what your talent is. Some of you guys could be really good at like physical activities as well, regarding swimming, okay? Because we got quite a bit of water out here. You guys could be good at swimming. You guys could be good at running with the Fool card, and also with all of these wands out here, including the Eight of Wands, which is a very fast forward moving momentum. Some of you guys could be good at, oh my god, when I said pool, I said swimming. It's so cool. Some of you guys could be really good at like pool swimming, and a lot of you guys could be really good at like pool, like 8 ball, like, you know, if you know what I'm talking about, pool tables. Okay, good. So some of you guys could be really good at that. Some of you might have really nice hands, okay? You could be really good at hand modeling. Also, if you're into that kind of design area too, I'm getting like jewelry, rings, bracelets, watches, necklaces, earrings, lip rings, nose rings, you know, all of that kind of jewelry stuff. You guys are killing it. Or you you definitely have the potential to be like creating something that is definitely innovative yet tasteful and still at the same time traditional, like in a good way. In a good way. Okay. We have one more card here. So we also have the star card. Okay, so this is a really good sum up of this pile. So if you guys, like I said, if you're into theater, acting, singing, music, and stuff like that, you have the potential to be under the spotlight and really, really be noticed. Now, this could be something you've been working on for a while and you're like, wow, you know, it's not taking off like I expected it to. Well, let me tell you, stars take a time to, you know, shine brightly. They do have to create the momentum and gain the right amount of matter and the correct amount of matter to be able to become luminescent and burning and bright. So be careful of who you're surrounding yourself with in that case too. But the star card, you could take it in a literal sense as far as like, oh, a movie star, a famous person. Like, yes, that is in this case if you are into like a lot of these roles that we've been talking about. But you have the potential to really get noticed online as well. The star card, more importantly, does talk about like social medias and being online and stuff in today's day and age. So with the 8 of Wands, you know, this is something that can pick up fast. Something that you weren't really expected, or taking a new direction as well. I am getting, again, you know, that hand. For some of you, you guys got nice hands. You need to, like, hands or feet. Some of you guys might have a hidden ability on the my fans. Who knows? We don't judge here. But, and I mean, it might be something you gotta be a little bit, you know, sneaky about your bag with. I mean, people don't need to be in that. But, yeah. Don't be afraid if that's what you're working with, because you're working with it fine if you're on that. Get that bag. Okay. Again, this could also be like really good at dancing as well. Like belly dancing, which, you know, is very fit as well. Singing and dancing. Jeez. The whole 9 yards. Let's see, what else do we got? You know, if you guys do have any talents that are really resonating with this, I feel like you guys have been working on it for a while. And the fact that we went from, you know, right on pace, from 0, the Fool card, to the 7 of Wands, and then you hit that 8 of Wands. So, like, you're getting better at what you're doing. You just came here to get that kind of reassurance, I hope. And if it is something that you just started, you can probably pick it up very, very fast. And also with the Page of Swords, this is something that I feel like you're still kind of in the midst of, you know, trying to figure out. I mean, if you have already started this, you're already thinking of how you can make it new and fresh and keep it going and gaining that momentum of the 8 of Wands. Because I feel like if you guys take your game step up a little bit more, you're definitely going to get more recognition and more appreciation for what you're putting out there. Whether that be any kind of forms of art, you have a lot of wands and a lot of fire here, so, and also a lot of water. You guys could be any of those signs. Definitely look into your birth chart with the see all the signs, because I feel like this is alluding to a very specific part in your birth chart that's going to show you a lot of ways of how you can improve whatever your specified talent or ability is, or how to reach new ones, and how to maybe incorporate those new ones into what you're already working with to keep that fresh and to keep it, coming from the heart. And then you do have a rune here. Let's see. I did just buy these runes, so your girl's still learning. Gotta appreciate the grind here. What do we have? This one is algas. It's the letters Z and X. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Z and X. This element is air, and it does protection, health, and happiness. So this might be something that you guys are looking for right now. I feel like, more importantly, the symbols, if we're taking a look at this. So we do have like a straight line through, and I feel like you guys have already been down this beating path. You have this for sure straight vision. Now you're really just starting to branch out and to see what ways are new and exciting and fresh, like I keep saying, ways to really branch out with what you're trying to do. I feel like you've been working this talent for quite some time now, and you're really starting to perfect it, because I feel like it's really coming from a sense of love with all this blue emotional energy. It feels more of heart space driven, and definitely from spirit as well. This is something that you feel completely gifted with, and I feel like spirit's trying to expand you and reach you out and have you looking for new ways and new directions to move forward with these talents and abilities. Ow. So that is really all I have for you guys. And for some of you too who are picking up on like a counseling vibe as well, you could be really good at like massages, like with hot stones, or acupuncture as well. Definitely working on the back and shoulders is what I'm getting. That might be something that you need. That might be something your clients need, okay? Definitely on the upper back, upper shoulders, maybe the lower back as well. Hands and wrist, definitely hands and wrist. That could be something that's also involved with like the talents and abilities that you have. Some of you, like I was picking up on water and stuff, you could be really good at like rowing and kayaking and, racing on that kind of stuff. All right, that's all I'm getting for you guys, pile number 1. If you like this video, please let me know. It means so much to me. You could give the video a like. You can comment to let me know what are your talents and abilities, okay? If it resonated with this, if it's something along these lines, cool, let me know. And then you can also subscribe to my channel to see more of my future videos. This video was actually voted as the #1 recommended on my community page, so if you do subscribe, you can vote to see what videos I post next. So thank you guys, and I will see you next time. Ooh. There goes my camera angle. Awesome. Okay. All right, pile number 2. This is going to be, what is your secret talents and abilities? Peacock or what are you hiding from us, huh? What are your secret talents and abilities? Collective number 2. Okay. All right, so pile number 2, we are starting off here first with your oracle cards. I'll move that over there. No, sorry, that does not feel right. Mojo's way off. Yeah. Okay, so the first card that you have, pile number 2, You have Archangel Gabriel's dragon, brings purification. Self-discipline will speed ascension and bring joy. You can carry Archangel Gabriel's diamond. So, with this pure white and this diamond sense, I did automatically pick up on like some super clear senses. You guys could be like clairvoyant, psychic, just super in tune and have your third eye completely open. You're really receptive to other people's energy. You're very, very sensitive to other people's energy. So please be careful of that. And I feel because you have such openness about you, that clarity, that diamond kind of sense, that you try to take in other people's energy, and it's almost like a prism where people talk to you and it comes in as like a source of light, and it just moves through you and comes out as a rainbow. Okay, we'll get into that. We also have Larimar. Sensitive emotions, times of heightened emotions and sensitivity call for extra self-care and gentleness. So if your talent and ability is being kind of like a really good friend, a good mom, a good parent, kind of more of like a feminine energy, and if you're a dude, please, you take this as it resonates. This is something that a lot of people need in the world. Regardless of whatever gender you are, we need this softness, okay? And we need this. It's man, I can't explain it. But for some reason too with this, I'm getting like swimming vibes or like spa vibes. You could be a masseuse. You could be really good at being a masseuse, but you're really good at calming down people and hyping them up. You could be a really good hype man. We also have, and especially like if you're a friend too, like I feel like you're really good at calming really stressful situations, but then like at the same time overcoming it, because we have a really big balance of water and fire energy here. I'm not sure if it's trying to allude to the signs that are involved, but you're really good at not letting your emotions control you rather than letting your emotions push you forward in your talents and abilities or whatever you like to do. So the next card we have is number 21, Know Your Power. This is kind of like Sagittarius vibes. So definitely self-motivated. Whatever talents and abilities you have, you go for them, but you go for them at full strength. You don't let anyone tame you or put the reins on you or hold you back, because you're someone who goes so much with the flow to your own pace. This pure white dragon ain't nothing to mess with, okay? So like you're so strong and powerful that you just literally can achieve whatever you set your eyes on. And we also have to be careful with you, because there is a big balance between water and fire, okay? Water puts out fire, gets steam. So I feel like you can be someone who might overexhaust yourself, or with your talents and abilities might be something that come in creative spurts, okay? We also have Tap Your Resources, Burdock. This talks about someone who's able to really stoke the fire and really kind of take a step back, take a rest when needed, recharge, reevaluate, and then go back again at this full pace. We have a lot of flames in these two photos. And so this is someone too who is able to offer a really nice warm home. For some reason, people might feel really comfortable with talking to you. You could be an authoritative person as well. You could be really good at being a judge almost, because you have a really good sense of, I feel like, balance and right and wrong, or even, stuff like that. So we'll get more into it with the tarot cards. I wouldn't be surprised if Justice came out. But let's see what else. Like again, you just give a really homey vibe. So people could really want to be your friend, because if anyone messes with your friends, they're going down. I feel like you guys are really powerful, with your words and with your actions. So this didn't really kind of give us too much of a hint into what your talent and abilities are. Like I said, you have a lot of balance here between water and fire, so I'm excited. Let's get into the tarot. What are your secret talents and abilities? You guys could be a really good chef. Also, with this burdock, tap your resources. As far as like bringing people to your home and cooking them a really good home cooked meal. And if you don't know how to cook, you could know all the best places to eat in town, like the finest places, okay? All right, let's see the tarot. What are we working with? So the High Priestess came out first. So that's kind of already serving justice vibes. We got the light and the darkness again. But you are keeping your talents a very hidden secret. If this is hidden from you, we're about to unlock it. If it's something you're keeping from people, you might be just a little bit embarrassed about it. Alright, sorry about that. Pile number 2. Alright, sorry about that. So my dog did start barking. So, alright, the first cards that we have. A lot of the vibes that I'm kind of getting into with this card, you could be someone who's really good, again, at hosting people for some reason. You could be a really good event planner. uh, and you're just really good at design as well. So you could be really good at designing events or organizing events and stuff like that and setting them up and making them feel, really great. You could be like a wedding planner almost with like this High Priestess card. If again, this is kind of something that's like a secret or something that is unbeknownst to you. So this might be something that you didn't know that you'd actually be really good at as far as like organizing and arranging events and stuff like that. We also have the Ten of Cups. So this deals with a large group of people. A lot of people getting entertained as well in this pile. I'm getting, you would be really good just being in charge of all these people, or like being in charge of a lot of children, or organizing a lot of children. This could be like a teacher as well, or a mentor. So you could be someone who likes to do like big brother or big sister, if you know what those things are. And I feel like that's also because you've been through a lot and you have a really good balance now. Like something in you has been emotionally cleansed and balanced, and now you're able to like use whatever past situations you've been into to really drive you forward and motivate you to change and evolve yourself. But you still have like those home values to you. Also, with that Ten of Cups, we do have number 4, the Emperor, which is Aries energy. So again, we do see large groups of people, but the Emperor is someone who is definitely, ruling over them or always in charge. So you could be someone who's really good at managing large groups of people. Your secret talents or abilities could just be to be a leader from a really good standpoint as well. And if you find yourself that you're a little bit timid to be in these kinds of spots because maybe you did have problems with authority, the High Priestess, can deal with persecution as far as being like woke. So you could have had like some kind of persecutions in the past with authority, but that has allowed you to come from a different kind of perspective to really still hone into these kinds of values. You could be a really good head chef. You could be a really good restaurant owner as well, or a server. Just someone who is really kind of in control of, groups and amounts of people. Also with the 3 of Cups, so you could be a really good bartender. You could be a really good entertainer of the nightlife. Someone who kind of oversees the events and stuff like that, or someone who schedules and plans and organizes them. Let's see. A lot of you guys can be really good with not only just large groups of people, but large groups of animals as well. There's a kitty here, and then we also have a loyal pupper down here, and then there are like several other kitties in this, and fishes. So you could be someone who's really good with animals. You could be like a zookeeper. or you could just be really good with animals that you aren't really aware of. So you could be like a really good health like practitioner, a veterinarian. And I feel like you guys have amazing organizational skills. And I feel like you guys have the patience to deal with animals that might kind of flare up on you or like have high stress situations in your jobs. And I mean, overall, too, I feel like you guys are a really good entertainer with the Three of Cups. You might not take yourself for someone who's able to be a crowd pleaser, but I feel like this is something that's very, very deep within you. I feel like it might not come from your, I don't know how to explain that. It doesn't seem very traditional, as in like entertaining people like with stand-up comedy. It's something way more subtle than that. You could also just be someone that like after they have like one drink or so, maybe you're like someone who's really good at singing or just someone who is really funny. Which might not be, you shouldn't always drink to be able to unlock these kinds of things, okay? So that's that. But I also feel like, if I didn't say this before, a lot of you guys could be really good beauticians. So you could be really good with hair, with makeup and nails. And if you're a guy, I mean, you could do those things equally as well. Or you could be into like barbershop cuts as well, regardless of what side you're on with that. And you might start these talents and abilities, you might start doing these things only for really close family and friends, because I feel like this is something that you haven't tapped into yet, something you might be a little bit, under the radar with the Emperor card. But as soon as you do step out with this, like on social media and stuff like that, which the Emperor can rule, the Three of Cups comes in. So people are going to be really supportive of this. People are going to cheers to you that you're stepping out and showing that you have the talents and abilities like this. People are going to definitely want to pitch in with it. And I feel like it's really going to help you grow and develop your talents and abilities with this Ace of Cups. It's going to really help you feel self-fulfilled. There is a warning here too of being careful of people trying to drink from your success as well. So, just be aware of that for some reason. There's always people like that for some reason. Again, I'm getting kind of like chef vibes, restaurant vibes, cooking as well. A lot of you guys could want to start up in the restaurant industry or move up through like the industry as well, as far as being like a server into stuff like that, into being more of a supervisor or manager role. We also have here at the very last the Eight of Wands. So this is something that is fairly conflicting, I feel like, throughout your whole reading. It goes very well with this High Priestess card. It's like something that comes to the forefront of your mind and then you hush it back down, and it kind of goes through this process. So there's some talents and abilities you have that I feel like there is some suppression. I don't know. There's like a good balance, but at the same time, it's like something that you're not sure if you want to tap into or unlock. So Spirit does make the messages a little bit harder to unveil if it's not something that you're ready to dive into. Let's try to get it. I feel like it is something you just need to go for. The Eight of Wands in this deck is so different as well compared to normal. This one's way more catastrophic. The Eight of Wands in the traditional tarot is actually quite moving and like forward progression. And this seems a little bit more emotionally distraught or emotionally, what do you call it, sabotaging? So it could be something that you want. Maybe your friends are like, nah, you shouldn't do that. You wouldn't be that great at it. Be careful of people putting you down like that. But your family's definitely on your side. People who you consider family or really close friends. But I was getting the cooking, the serving, like that kind of industry, hair and nails and fashion, barbershop kinds of stuff. It might not be something that you know how to do really well yet. Like I said, this might be something you need to study up on. With the Emperor, he has a scroll out in front of him. And I feel like you guys need to have just a little bit more courage in whatever it is that you're wanting to do, or anything that you try to do nowadays. Let's take a look at your rune. I feel like your messages is very encoded in pile number 2. We have rune. This one's called Wunjo. Try to get it so you can see. Yeah, Wunjo. And so this one is the letters W and V, and then it's the element earth, and it has glory, wisdom, joy, and perfection. And so if you look at this right away, just taking it sight for sight, it does kind of look like a flag. And so I'm picking up like red flags, and I feel like you're noticing those along the way, and I feel like it's kind of having you double take on your talents and abilities that you can be really good at. Sorry, my back has to crack. False flags. And I feel like that could be coming from friends or from family that are kind of putting you down with the things that you want to do. If you're already in this industry that you kind of want to progress in, there could be flags as in like, are you sure this is what you want to do anymore? And there could be flags with like the business that you work for, or, you know, the job that you currently have. There could be a little bit more drama than you would like, or situations not changing for the better, not really feeling self-fulfilled within your work. Let's see. I just feel like this is something that you guys really have to work on. I'm sorry, pile number 2. It's pretty vague. I get this way typically when if my client or the person receiving a reading, if they aren't really prepared or ready to hear this answer, then it does become a little bit vague. So, I mean, I'm definitely down to do this reading in a future time, or, you know, you could always pick another pile, and if this didn't resonate with you, maybe the next one will. So I do hope that resonated with you guys for as short and sweet as it was. So if it did, please let me know down in the comments what exactly are your hidden talents and abilities. Do you know if you would be good at any of these things? Definitely give it a try. Don't let you or your friends psych yourself out. So alright, so go ahead, check out the description box as usual. That's where all the goodies are. If you like this video, give it a like or subscribe to see more of my future videos. This was actually voted the #1 recommended video in my community page, so you can vote to see what I post next if you subscribe. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Collective number 3. What are your hidden talents and abilities? Alright, collective number 3. What are your hidden talents and abilities? Collective number 3. Okay, pile number 3. This is going to be your secret talents and abilities. We're going to start off with the oracle cards first. So the first card that we have here is Omega Dragon. Harness the divine feminine power of creation, intention, hold your vision, birth the higher consciousness. So this card alone definitely speaks of some artistic value with as far as birthing creation. So whether you're good at, depending on your medium, if you're good at painting, drawing, coloring, music side of things, playing sheet music, creating music, collaboration, and if you're someone that doesn't even create but you're just deeply drawn to these kinds of works of art, that makes up a lot of who you are. And I mean, you could be good at your own craft, so definitely creating something tangible or audible that'd be really good for you. It also says hold your vision, but for some reason I got like hold your breath. You could be someone who's really good at holding your breath, or like intermittent breathing. So like if you do play a musical instrument that requires like a woodwind or breathing, you could be good at doing that. We also have a really high psychic ability in this one as well. You're very intuitive, so that might play into a lot of your other interest, obviously. Hello. We also have Sugilite. Own your divine power. Replace codependent people-pleasing with assertiveness and empowerment. So maybe this might have been you in the past. Maybe you were more concerned about, what was in, what was hip, or what was popular or trending. What do people like? What's more mainstream? Yeah, you might have had interest in stuff that was more like that. Maybe it led you off to actually find more of what you as an individual like, your own individual taste, maybe your own individual style. Of course, it could be inspired by people who happen to be more mainstream or, more publicly seen, but that's okay. So now you're not really too worried about, what other people like, if they're gonna like what you release or not. You're more concerned about being confident in your own talent and abilities. With the number 14, have courage, definite Leo energy. You could be like someone into beauty, like makeup, hair, face alterations. So like if you've ever seen like people do prosthetics, is that what it's called? Or like, when people like make fake wounds for TV shows, like you could be really good at that kind of stuff as well. And I mean, if you were doing a full face look, this is very unconventional if you're gonna turn yourself into the lion like the Wizard of Oz, okay? We also have we also have Start Fresh Chickweed. So this actually talks about looking at the fine print, looking at the details. You could be someone who's really good at investigating things, looking at like horror stories or like investigation kinds of things. You're really good at finding answers and thinking outside of the box, because I feel like you guys get the much bigger picture with this Omega Dragon. I mean, Omega is, not the alpha, but the Omega. And it says birth the higher consciousness. So not only are you seeing the details, but you're also seeing the picture as a whole. I feel like that's really part of your talent and abilities, is to look at the details and also look at the bigger picture and kind of get maybe some better perspective and overall view of whatever you're working with. And this also talks about stars. So this could be like someone who actually is recognized in their field publicly. It could also lead into astronomy. So maybe that's something that you're also interested in, is more of cosmic science. Alright, so let's see what else. Not only just like cosmic science, but micro science, okay? So like, what is it called? Microanalyzing and stuff like that. I don't know. Big scale, small scale. It's all about perspective. Okay, we're gonna get into the tarot cards to hopefully get a better idea of what your hidden talents and abilities are. Oh, okay. So there's a really big detective vibe in this. So this could be, again, something that maybe you're not really aware of, but something that you definitely have the potential and the assets to become really good at. So we have the Seven of Swords. So in the grand scheme of things, if we are taking this in a detective route. So you could see this kind of as like a bad guy, which is, you know, the traditional way of viewing this card as someone who's being sneaky and deceptive and whatnot. If you look at all of these other cards and the way that they play out, is kind of like you could be a really good scene writer. You could be someone who's really good at writing you know, stories, novels, whether that's for older people, for teens, for kids. You're just really good at creating a storyline. In this case, too, you could be really good at acting or directing as far as playing your role within, you know, the whole play, or creating, you know, one specific character within the whole dynamic of people. So it's really cool how it plays out. So we also have the Eight of Cups. So I'm just gonna go through this storyline because it's pleasing to me. The Eight of Cups is someone who has to kind of venture on their own moving forward, like has to kind of just pick up their cup with pride and, you know, or leave it behind and just keep going forward. So I kind of feel a little bit of a sorrow, forward moving energy of someone having to go on alone. And then also with the Four of Swords, there is kind of like again, this is the storyline vibe. For some reason, Spirit's making me go through this. Okay. Someone got left behind, so there's like a weird funeral vibe. And we also have the Tower card. So like someone definitely got struck down. Like you guys could write like murder mysteries or be really into like those kinds of TV shows, you know, like unsolved mysteries or like stuff like that. That's kind of what it's like. Wait, make these in the wrong spot. Okay, so there's sadness, there's drama, and then we have the Emperor card. So there's definitely some strong boss fights. There's some boss vibe, some big bad guy, the Emperor, you know, who's like might be a little bit rough around the edges and stuff like that. And we also have the Ace of Swords. So bringing him to justice. Or like making him known, but the Emperor card could also be like your energy, you know, like bossing up and taking control of the situation and, you know, creating a successful ending. I don't know. That's just kind of like a rough draft, maybe for some of you. All right, looking deeper into these talents and abilities. Story time's over. All right, we'll start back at the beginning. The Seven of Swords. So, for some of you who are artists, again, I feel like there is a sense of kind of picking things up at your own pace or kind of your own fresh take on things. So you might honor people before you that have done the same craft as you, but you're gonna kind of pick it up where they left off and make it your own. Also, let's see. For a lot of you that are into more psychic, intuitive kind of endeavors, with this Omega dragon and this Shugalite, it says own your divine power. And it says replace codependent people pleasing with assertiveness and empowerment. I don't know, for some of you, you might have like worked in this kind of like field that you have a talent or interest in, and you could have had like a really crappy boss or superior where you just kind of were like gonna sneak off on your own and work on your own projects and do your own thing. where you were able to kind of, you know, play your part in the whole, but also creating your own world within your own space. We also had, for like I was saying, you guys more into like the spiritual side of work, with the 8 of Cups and the 4 of Swords. This is definite astral projection level kinds of stuff, of being able to kind of leave your own physical body and walk on your own and travel on your own. So this is lucid dreaming and also astral projection. So, you know, that's kind of something that you hear a lot in this kind of area, but it's a very powerful tool and ability if you are able to hone it and actually do that, because I feel like you're able to really break some patterns that you guys might have. There is a line in this that says replace your codependency. Now, whether that's with people or addictions or anything like that, you guys could be really good hypnotists. I mean, the 7 of Swords kind of gives that, like, the carnival vibes. Not to say you guys are a carny or anything, but like you could be really good at doing dramatic face paint. Now we also have, again, if you're able to do those kinds of things, and I feel like that would do wonders for your soul energetically if you've been dealing with breaking habits lately, and really like helping you take control and take back your power and go forward with much more clarity and confidence and, you know, self-assurance. But your secret talent and ability, if you're someone who's in sports, you are really good at having your opponent completely underestimate you. So you could be really good at someone's really good at table tennis. It's not me. But there's that. Like baseball or like racquetball or tennis. I don't know. There's someone who's good at that kind of stuff, or like table board games that you're good at. Some of you could be good at like actual board games. And like you could be really strategic about it, because I mean there's a whole game plan out here in front of us. So you might come across as like aloof, or that like you're not really paying attention to the game. And you know, you could be really good at deceiving yourself. Your talents and ability is kind of being a little bit deceptive, but in like in a winning way. Not like in a taking advantage of other people, like, you know, emotionally or anything like that. And if you're competing, I mean all is fair, you know. But we don't condone cheating, okay? God. But anyways, you're kind of just like, oh, laissez-faire, and then boom, you hit him with that tower, and it's like next thing you know you're the emperor and you've already won the game and you're kicking their ass. So Ace of Swords. So you could be a really good fighter as well. You could be really good at studying your opponents. You could be really good at chess. You could be really good at those kinds of games. You could be really into, oh my gosh, you guys could be really into cosplay, which we don't judge here. You could be into dressing up as different creatures or different characters of different TVs and storylines that you love. Definitely, you could go to like Comic-Con. You could be like a huge science nerd as well. You could be into like those kinds of events. You could be big into museums. Let's see what else. You guys could be really good at debating, like a debate team. Yeah, like current events with this Dart Fresh. Or you could be really good at history questions, so you could be like really good at trivia as well. Some of you are really good at writing, whether that's fan fiction or reading. Some of them, someone's reading a really good book right now that like you need to go and finish. And you're doing your darndest. I, 'cause, 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 ' I feel like you guys are also another really good thing. You're a really good motivational speaker, or you're just a very motivating person for people who have been through kind of like a slower period in their life where they kind of had to move forward on their own, or they felt like they were all alone. Okay, they might have had other people around them, but they were kind of on their own experience or own journey. I feel like you were able to kind of give people a peace of mind with the Four of Swords and really change things for them with the Tower card and have them take control of their own life with the Emperor and the Sword. This could be pertaining to yourself as well. Maybe you're really good. A talent of yours is self-regeneration. I feel like maybe you guys have went through like a battle. Maybe you guys were really sick at one point and you made like an immaculate recovery. A really good talent of your guys too, again with like that investigating part of things. I feel like you're really good at internet searches. There could be like people who do like scam and fraud or like identity theft. I feel like you guys are really good at hunting them down. You guys could work for the FBI or like the police department. I don't know. Let's. And another weird concept that comes in through that too. I did say this earlier, where it's like if you. I don't know if I said it in this pile, but there is still kind of in this way too. Like, I feel like at one point in time you might have had like a bad experience with your boss or your authority, and that's kind of what caused you to sneak off and kind of do your own thing. So, like, maybe your parents wanted you to be one thing, and you're like, no, I'm gonna be this, and do it like, you're tired of people pleasing, you're tired of wanting to do or having to do what other people want you to do, and now you're just becoming a little bit more self fulfilling and birthing and creating your own experiences. And so, like, being a cop nowadays might be like a little bit controversial, and that was because, maybe you're ready to change the persona or image that these jobs or these titles might have, or how these jobs and titles operate, and you're willing to kind of pick it up and do your own thing and kind of surprise people with how you approach it, because maybe you're tired of the same old storyline and you're here to definitely spice it up. Especially with other sports, if you're into like those kinds of physical activities, I feel like you've done your research, you've seen how other people play the game, and now you're ready to kind of own it with that Emperor card. So, I mean, that could be like, I'm getting all kinds of like physical sports, it'd be like basketball again too. That's like another ball game. Also too, with this kind of like self-altering state, you could be really good at undercover or acting and being different characters. Or if you're someone who is into makeup as well, in science, I feel like mortuary science is another cool thing for you, because like with the Tower card and the Four of Swords is something that you might look into. If none of this is resonating either, I'd be surprised that you stuck through this reading. But also, I feel like with the way the cards lay out as well, I feel like this is something, if you're not too sure about, it might be something that you've tried in the past but you did not think much of, or something that you skipped the opportunity to try. So later on down the road, I feel like there's gonna be something that comes up to you that you finally are tired of sleeping on with the Four of Swords. It might be something that you're actually willing to pick up with that Tower card, and is just gonna absolutely change your world, and you're gonna be dead serious about it with the Emperor card and the Ace of Swords. You're gonna kill the game. Okay, give it a go. And lastly, we're gonna take a look at your rune. Let's see what the rune says, and I'm still learning these, so we have Lagus. I don't know if you can see that. I gotta get like the light. So Lagus is letter L, and it's the element of water, and it just says hope in life. So with this card, I mean, it's a rune, but in one way it's almost like an arrow, but it's like an incomplete arrow. So again, I'm kind of getting like a pieced together clue, like as far as like what your direction can take. Again, very deceiving. So like people think that they might know your next course of action being forward, but yet like you kind of take things for a turn or for a hook. No, you guys could be really good at rapping too. Again, I feel like this is the talent and ability that you have might be something that you did when you were younger or as a kid that you didn't take as serious. And now that you've gotten older and you've given it some time, and if you were to try that again, you might find like a new sense of purpose or interest in the activity or sport, you know. Yeah, I think that's really all I'm getting for you guys. I'm still new to runes, so I'm getting like messages, but it's like I don't know if they resonate or not. So I think that's really all I have for you guys. Pile number 3. If it did resonate, please let me know. This is really exciting stuff, you know. If it did, let me know in the comments what are your special talents or abilities that you know of. If it did resonate, go ahead, give the video a like, and you can subscribe to see more of my future videos. And after subscribing, you can also vote to see what videos I post next, which is this video here got voted as the most recommended. So go do all of that fun stuff, and all of the goodies are in the description box as normal. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Alright, last one. Bro, I gotta close these blinds. Alright, pile number 4. What are your secret talents and abilities? Okay, pile number 4. So we are going to take a look at your oracle cards first for your secret talents and abilities. So right off the bat, there is a pretty good balance here between masculine and feminine energies. So the first card that we do have, oh, there is a hair, sorry. So the first card is Green Gold Dragon from Sirius. Brings universal knowledge to your spiritual pathway. Learn about spiritual technology. Be a transmitter of sacred knowledge. If this card doesn't scream go green, I don't know what card in my deck does. So this is a very progressive raising the earth's vibration kind of card. And I feel like you are a very spiritual person. You could be very religious as well, and you could be really into eco-friendly, earth-saving kind of practices. I feel like that's a big part of who you are. And if this isn't something that you're into, this is perhaps a field or talent that can really help excel you in, or help you, find out more about your talents and abilities through these kinds of activities and lifestyles. So let me move into the next card, because this green kind of screams like, for me, it teaches like teacher vibe. And we also have Tiger's Eye, self-confidence through God confidence. Believe in yourself by believing in God working through you. So again, this kind of like reinforces, not necessarily thinking of Tiger's Eye, but like of the definition here on the card, makes me feel like you are maybe someone who's into more church practices or religious practices, spirituality and stuff like that. You might be like an actual public speaker or someone who works within, this workforce of type of things, whether that's religious or spiritual. Let's see. And there is definitely spirit, God working through you, because you are, I feel like, have the potential to really work with the planet as a whole, or cover lots of ground, reach out to a lot of people. And we also have number 5, challenge your perception. So again, you could be speaking out about injustices, whether that's, with the planet as a whole, with taking care of the planet. You could be speaking out on a more personal level regarding, things in your community, or racial injustices and stuff like that you're really just trying to change people's perspective on certain topics. So this could also be super political as well. So you could be someone who's really good in politics and in debating, and within changing people's perceptions for the better. We also have You Are Sacred, which is Tulsi. So this card, to me, when I like the colors in this card, it reminds me of one of my friends. She always gets this card. This card to me is like a go-getter, someone who's always go, 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 doing things constantly, is doing 4 things at once. So you could be a really good multitasker. You could be a really good person at campaigning, if we are talking political, or, if you are just someone who works within public speaking, if you're someone who works for, your local communion, your church, your spiritual group, you're really good at reaching out and bringing in new people, but you're also really good at, that recruiting you are really good at, because, if someone isn't on the same page, you kind of have to challenge their perception to get them interested or somewhat on the same mindset or path as the program, of course. So really good at public speaking. And you're really good at presenting and pulling things together, putting things together. You're a very driven, confident person with the Tiger's Eye as well. You're very determined, but you gotta be careful that you don't come across as a pushover. And I feel like you guys have very high standards, not only for yourself, but for your community, for your friends and your family, which really helps, because, if you set those high standards, it's something to be met. So it definitely helps with, not only your vibration, but the people around you. You definitely have guru vibes. Because, you have 4 arms. And yeah. We're going to go into the tarot to kind of take a closer look at what your talents and ability may be, a little bit more defined. Whoa, okay, so we have the Page of Pentacles here twice. Alright. So the Page of Pentacles, definitely in there twice, so it's definitely just redefined or accentuated. The first path I'm going to take kind of goes along with, this recruiter, guru, kind of advocate vibration that you really give off. And it comes from a really good caring standpoint, of course, and I feel like it's helping not only the earth if you're into more environmental pursuits, but also with people. So if there could be, you could be a really good social worker. Again, with this you are sacred is someone who does like house stops or like stops by frequently but keeps bad vibrations out. Tulsi is actually like a plant that you're supposed to hang out, or sorry, inside of your house, like by the door and stuff, to prevent that kind of energy from coming in. But we have the Five of Pentacles here, which is seen as a card of struggle, of, you know, perseverance, but going through hard times and, you know, asking for help, seeking out help, whether that's in your community or your church and stuff like that. And we also have the Empress right next to it, which is a very stark comparison, but, you know, exactly the energy you would be looking for and wanting if you were in this situation. Is this, you know, a really good motherly grandmother, feminine figure that you could rely on, or, you know, just any feminine. But you're just really good at giving people hope. if that's a really good talent and ability, you're really good at making people aim for the best within themselves. You're really good at having, oh man, like you're just a really good teacher as well. Like, because there could be kids that you have around you, or like students and stuff that come from, you know, maybe not the best background. Sorry for that glare. And you're able to kind of just take them in and really care for them like they're your own. So you could be a really good like foster parent. You could be working like with children, again, like a social worker, or, you know, anything like that. The same thing could apply to, especially with this earth-driven energy. You could also be really good with pets and with animals and rehabilitating them as well, or being like a pet vet. With the Five of Pentacles, again, is card of struggle, and we do have the animal there moving through that. And with the Empress too, really making them feel better. There are two animals. Again, there's a dog and a cat. But you're really good at sparking hope in people. And we also have, with the Ten of Wands, is a card of upward battle and of struggle, and is like burning yourself out. And we also have the Queen of Wands. So like a lot of you could be really, I don't know, I'm getting like power moms for some reason. I don't know what's going on. Like there could be, like you could be an advocate for like women's rights, definitely in this pile as well. Or you could be someone who speaks out about women's rights, you know, and the rights that they have for their bodies. So there could be a lot of like, you know, women who are tired and like put out, and you kind of resemble this Queen of Wands, is a very strong feminine energy who takes, you know, that burnt out feeling and then just keeps pushing themselves. For talents and abilities, you guys are really good at organizing. Like with this Tulsi, I feel like in this challenge your perception. So you're changing the way people perceive not only themselves, but I feel like also their environment with this Earth card. And so the Five of Pentacles, you know, you could be someone who cleans houses, or you could be really good at working for a cleaning business because when you get in there, it might look like, you know, it's been struggling, it's been through a tornado, it's been through the works, it's had kids, you know, whatever, whatnot. And then you come in there as the Empress, and number 3, which is a very structured kind of energy. In the Ten of Wands, you're really going to put your hard work and care into the situation and then make it very presentable with the Queen of Wands. So you could be really good at restoration of things. You could restore old furniture. You could refurbish stuff. If you haven't tried that before, it's something that you could be really good at. And then we had the Page of Pentacles here in the traditional for the overall. And then it came out as the last card again. So you're really good at recycling with that page again. I feel like you could take the old and kind of revamp it and turn the coin at the same time and make a profit. So you could be really good at like cleaning stuff, organizing, and really good at making money. But how are you making the money? I almost feel like too with the Page of Pentacles, for some of you it's not about the money. I mean, for a lot of us it is about the money. Of course, that's how we just, live independently, which I feel like might be you. You're really good on your own. I feel like you could be a really good business owner as far as having your own business. In the Page of Pentacles itself, this is, if there isn't a more accurate card for someone who's aware of the planet and is like eco-friendly, the Page of Pentacles is definitely someone who speaks up about that and like does their research. You could definitely be a student as well. And, if you're not a student, that could definitely be one of your hidden talents or abilities. If you were to go back to school, what would you go for? Because, I mean, it looks like maybe you've been struggling to make it out in the business world on your own. And maybe you're a parent, or maybe you've had kids, or you're going to have kids. And it could just feel like, man, this is not what you signed up for. Or maybe you just don't feel prepared to do that. I mean, you could definitely have some kind of hidden confidence or some hidden ability that you already know of that can really help you make an extra buck. And it could be something that you really like to do. And again, if that's like refurbishing kind of furniture, if that's something that you could do, or like flipping stuff, whether that's flipping a whole house or doing anything else. And and I feel like too, since you have this motherly aspect, is really what I feel like has you determined to make this world or community a better place than what it was when you first got here. And your talents and abilities, man, you're a really, really, really good leader. You're definitely someone who's good at persuasion as well. Especially, I feel like there's something about you that appeals to like the working and the struggling. Maybe you've been through this energy. Maybe this looks familiar to you. The 10 of Wands and the 5 of Pentacles, that kind of struggle where you were able to come up out of that, not only as the Queen of Wands, but also the Empress. So you could be really good at beauty as well. Hair and makeup, costume. I feel like maybe you're really good at creating your own clothing or like repairing. You could be like good at, oh my gosh, there's some people who are like really good at like getting shoes and then like changing the way they look and reselling them. I don't know how they do that. But there's like some kind of like customization part of it. There's something, yeah, there's very big artsy customization vibes here as well. Especially like buying something and then making it your own and making it better. And if you guys aren't, if you aren't in the public eye, I would definitely step out there because people will definitely listen to you. And I feel like you apply to, each working class, if that makes sense. If you're in the United States, I suppose, or even outside, they have different constructs. Some of you guys could be really good florist as well. You could be really good with like flowers. Or like home decor. Like interior, even like not only interior design, but like landscaping design as well. Very much so, landscaping. And I feel like a lot of you too would be even like beating down social norms where it's like there might be like construction jobs or jobs that, you know, they would never expect a female executive to come walk in, and like you carry this big burden and like with all this strength, and you come in and you like blow down the expectations, and just with that Queen of Wands. And I mean, even if you're a male and this is reversed, it can be the same way backwards. And the Page of Pentacles, man, you're gonna make money from it too, and you're gonna be really successful from that. Let's see. And you're someone too who's very humble, doesn't take all the credit either, especially if you didn't do this all on your own. You're definitely someone who's willing to cut your part of the shares. You could be really good at investing, very good at investing, especially sorry. Alright, so I'm following up on this reading the next day. After the recording started, my SD card actually got full, so I had no choice but to upload the videos before I could record again, so no worries, we're just picking up where we left off. I do remember I was speaking of analytics, and I feel like you're someone who understands rhythm and processes and just like the up and down of the flow of energies of things. So I feel like you're really able to predict some kind of like analytics, whether that's with investments in stock markets, because you know there might be a company that's down or going through a tough time, or like the economy itself, but I feel like you have a way of nurturing it or knowing how it's going to grow up and develop, and how to give it the energy that it needs in order to succeed and overcome that. We also have it with the 10 of Wands, so it might not be an easy thing. Of course, there's again that struggle, but with the Queen of Wands, it kind of reinstates that same message. And then, you know, the double Page of Pentacles. Also, what I was getting for your talents and abilities, you know, if you're not into those kinds of things, we talked about the organization skills, the interior, exterior design, the cleansing, also the organization skills. I feel like if you're into physical movement, you could be into like actual heavy lifting with the 10 of Wands. You could be someone who's into CrossFit or into lifting and just cardio and staying active with your physical body itself. Especially with the 5 of Pentacles, does talk about perseverance. So you could be someone who's into endurance, doing stuff for the long run, you know. And if that's not what you're doing right now, I mean, if that's something that you would try over time, you know, it does show that it like rapidly changes here because you have a lot of Wands energy. But the Page of Pentacles, it might not be something that you're into right now, but it's something that can be developed as far as like your endurance and whatnot. And with the tiger's eye that we had here, you have the confidence and the mindset to just be completely determined and change your viewpoints on like certain activities that maybe you would not have liked, you know, a year ago or, you know, a couple of months ago. But if you were to give it a try, I feel like it's gonna enter your life in a new way that you weren't expecting. And I feel like a lot of you guys are into a lot of creative processes as well. Like we talked about the design. I mean, you could have any kind of creative process that you work through. You could be self-employed with those creative endeavors, or you know, some of you too, like when I'm getting this house vibe too, could be really good at selling homes. I don't know if I said that earlier. I didn't mention, you know, like flipping homes and refurbishing furniture. I feel like as like an actual home salesperson, you guys could be really good, or like mortgage people, stuff like that. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave it at that. So I do apologize, pile number 3, but we're gonna jump into your rune to end this reading. So we have right here, I believe this one is Kenaz. So forgive me, I am new to runes, so I actually just bought this set. It's kind of like a greater than, less than sign. So again, this actually is the letters K, C, and Q, and it represents the element of fire, which you have a lot of in your reading here. And it says manifesting character or personality. And so I definitely feel that with you guys, this might be something that like you've your talents and ability, I feel like there's things that you've done before and you just weren't that great at it to begin with, or like it just seems like you are so far from the end goal of being whatever that talent and ability status is. And so with this Empress card in the middle of the Five of Pentacles and the Ten of Wands, you know, out here struggling, these two cards, I feel like you just need to be patient with yourself. The Empress, you know, in this card, she is, you know, pregnant. And so it's something that is in the womb, something that has a potential to grow. The Queen of Wands, though, can be someone who, like, tires themselves out. But on a smarter, analytical side of things, she knows how to preserve her energy and to make herself last. I feel like your guys' talents and abilities say a lot about who you are. Like, if you are an artist, a lot of it does reflect how you're feeling internally, or, you know, represents where you've been or where you want to go in your future, whether that's an actual place or state of mind. And I feel like you guys have a very, very big potential to make some money off of these talents and abilities that you have. So if it's not a small business that you have already, if you could definitely get a job field in your personal interest, definitely take the chance. So I hope this resonated with you guys. Sorry, pile number 4. If it did, please let me know down in the comments. I love to read and hear, you know, how things line up for you and where you find those connections. So please go ahead and do that. Give the video a like and subscribe to vote and see more of my future videos. If you vote, you can actually vote to see what I post next. This video was voted top, so that's why this one's getting posted. So go ahead and do that, and I will love to see you guys again. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later. Bye.